welcome to top10list.org, where you get a world of knowledge in 10 simple points. Today's episode is going to be about 10 reasons why people get divorced, and we're going to start at number 10 with the trigger happy couple. Couples such as these love to hate. They cannot seem to agree with each other on anything, and just as the heading may suggest, they love shooting down each other's arguments with great delight and satisfaction. I wonder why they're even married. They themselves are the sole reason of the failure of their own marriage. On chancing upon these couples, one may often wonder as to how they could stand each other long enough to ever get married. Number 9, cultural and/or religious differences. We'll use India in this example, as it is a land of various cultures and religious differences, and their unity lies in their diversity, but not when it concerns marriage. And there are celebrity couples there in India, like Gaudi Khan, that make interreligious marriages seem like a cakewalk, but it requires a certain amount of maturity and a great deal of compromise to make the marriage a super hit. The immediate problem that arises from such marriages is the disapproval of families of the bride and bridegroom. Sure, love conquers all according to the Bollywood formula, but the stark reality is quite on the contrary, and it takes years and probably coercion before the families give in. Number 8. The nosy in-laws. Family is traditionally very important to Indians. As they say, marriage is not only a coupling between two individuals, but also a union of two families. So when the in-laws start taking too much interest in a couple's marriage, that intervention is often based upon the fact that elders know best. It might very well sound to the death toll of the matrimony. Moreover, it also proves that the family is not as happy and as an organic unit that one might always consider it to be, so it is better to shut the door to these nosy in-laws and take your own time to understand your spouse better. Number 7, psychological reasons and addictions. What is in the mind will be reflected in habituation. Psychological factors like childhood trauma, parents' divorce play an important role in shaping one's marital life. These risk factors are uncontrollable, and that's what makes them scarier. According to Dr. William H. Doherty, a notable marriage scholar and therapist, the chance of divorce doubles if one has witnessed the divorce of one's parents and triples when the spouse has faced the same. Addiction is a leading factor for divorces also. Substance abuse often goes hand in hand with spousal abuse. One's senses are numbed by the addictive substance, and as a result, one does not know right from wrong. Number 6 is insecurity. Trust is the foundation stone of every marriage, and when that is lacking, the marriage will be prone to immediate failure. Insecurity in marriages can be an outcome of anything: a general wariness about the future of the marriage, or good old fear of the spouse's disloyalty. Paranoia plays an important factor in breaking up these marriages. Psychologists are also aware of the opinion that insecurity may often be a result of any childhood trauma, being raised by a single parent or lack of parental love, and also a tumultuous past relationship, among many other reasons. Insecurity springs from the wildest imaginations and crazy assumptions, all relating to a marriage debacle, and it'll ultimately end up in being the final, cataclysmal end of the marriage. Number 5 is abuse. The partner is equal in marriage and should be treated with love and respect. However, domestic and spousal abuse remains one of the insistent realities of failing marriages. It often springs from a feeling of insecurity that the partner might be cheating, or insecurity related to financial and career-related aspects. Now, it may also be a result of substance abuse that the abuser may be prone to. Notwithstanding, marriages where one partner is treated like a punching bag doesn't stand much of a chance of survival. Number 4 is lack of communication. 2 kids and 10 summers later, the passion in a marriage may almost wane into nothingness. Routine, career, children become important factors why 2 people married to one another forget to communicate, and one fine day they may wake up to realize what a perfect sham their marriage had been. The pain of this realization ends fast in divorce. However, by the time either of them is too exhausted by the entire institution of marriage and the utter futility of it to indulge in it again. This fast-paced jobs demands all kinds of things in all forms and parts and parcels of living in a competitive world, and being responsible parents at the same time also demands to that. But what couples separated by a gulf of no communication fail to realize is that the crux of their marriage should be the sustenance of it. Number 3, because the spouse couldn't keep it in the pants. Well, infidelity or cheating. Bill Clinton did it, David Beckham did it, and so did Tiger Woods, and infidelity is an important reason why most couples divorce. While factors can be several, the most important one springs from the sudden disinterest or lack of sexual passion in a marriage. The cheating spouse can still very much be in love with his or her partner and yet be unfaithful. Men often cheat to save their failing marriage, says a marriage and family therapist, Susan Mandel. However, the fact remains that while involved in a steamy affair, it becomes too difficult to work on something so grounded with responsibilities like a marriage as compared to the excitement that a casual fling may provide. Is it really worth it is a question you must ask yourself. Number 2 on our list is financial differences. When you're hungry, love won't keep you alive, and this happens to be life's biggest lesson. Money matters, so it is only a matter of time before career and financial reasons start affecting a marriage. With more and more women venturing out of their domestic space to earn their own living, the traditional patriarchal authority gets challenged every day. Arguments between couples can range from why the female partner would be required to earn when the male partner is already earning, a clear indication of how the male ego suffers a blow by the independent woman's achievements, to how the task of breadwinning should be split. People somehow refrain from an open discussion about money habits, and one's financial habits may be hidden from the other until they get married. Number 1, lack of sex. Sexual intimacy is the bedrock of a married life, and even though people might like to pretend that all they require is emotional and spiritual satisfaction, the fact remains that sexual dysfunction or a lack of sexual intimacy is one of the primary reasons for most divorces to occur. Sex is man's most primeval need, and it is a natural, biological, and necessary, and marriage serves as the socially and religiously sanctioned institution for procreation and sexual satisfaction. When that stops, the marriage collapses, and it is no rocket science to understand its implications from there on. It may often be a result of physical incapability or psychological reasons. Either or, you can get help. But this can lead to other repercussions like infidelity and constant fights between the couple. Needless to say, such a marriage loses in no time and hitting rock bottom. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Top 10. I hope you've gotten some advice from this edition. If so, click subscribe and don't hesitate to join us again.